if you invited me, hey, on Saturday night, do you want to come to the drive-through for a client appreciation Dodge Caravan, such and such, bring blankets, do whatever. We're screening whatever. I'd go. And I'm not saying that right? You're also solving my problem.
On this episode of Coffee with Jason, we're talking the experience economy and what value it can bring to your customers. We'll talk about how to make lasting memories and lasting buyers. Make sure you tune in to the rest of the episode to find out how. But first, a word from our sponsors.
For freshly brewed discussion on automotive sales and marketing, this is Coffee with Jason. The Coffee with Jason podcast is sponsored by Closer's Coffee. For that full-bodied, rich, sweet flavor with a bright acidity. Drink Closer's Coffee, stay caffeinated, and keep on closing. Find out more at closerscoffee.ca.
Hey, what's going on, Podcast Nation? It's Jason Harris here with Digital Dealership Solutions. Hey, thanks for joining another episode of Coffee with Jason. Today, I have my guest, Moseley-Williams with Strategic Consulting. Sir, thank you so much for taking the time to come jam with me today. I really appreciate it.
Nice to see you, Jason.
Hey, for everyone out there that don't know kind of who you are and what you've been doing in the industry, if you can kind of give us that 2-minute origin story, that'd be awesome.
Sure. I am a business consultant and I work with small to medium-sized businesses on strategy, business plan implementation, and then innovation around customer experience and design. I'm a certified experience economy expert, and I've been working as a consultant for over 20 years. Author and a blogger and a speaker. Awesome. And your passion for automotive, how did that get started? No, I hate to be a generalist. It's like, come on, I'm a boy. It got started by turning about 6. If I think about it and date myself, I think the first coolest thing I ever saw in my entire life would be like a little TR6, you know?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. And I can remember in 1979 walking through the high school parking lot to my grade school, and there was a Z28 and it was white and sort of orangey, had orangey, like, detailing stripes.
Yeah.
I just, in that age when you can't figure out why your dad doesn't have one. Like,
yeah.
Man, why are you driving one of those? I have a driveway full of those things. That's what I'm going to do when I'm grown up. I loved, sincerely though, I love cars, and not even because, like, just totally a random coincidence. The last 2 days, I've been researching the Porsche driving experience vacations right on their website.
I've actually done one.
Oh, I'd love to hear all about it.
It is so much fun. Now, I just did the 1 day thing. I didn't do the bigger long one, right? Mm-hmm. But boy, they really know how to show off what those vehicles really do. I don't think a lot of people actually necessarily understand from a design perspective and an engineering perspective what they're physically designed to actually go do on a regular basis. And it is something else. The professionals, they're so professional. The drivers were amazing. Actually, the driver that was training us was a part of their GT3 series. So, literally the weekend before, he just got done in a GT3 race, and this is what they do when they're not actually racing. They're coming out and doing these events, and it was cool. It was really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Talk about creating user experience, which is actually a good segue into what we were going to talk about, right? Really trying to create a user experience and talk about a brand, Porsche, not only creating user experience, but really creating a lifestyle around the product and the brand itself.
That's right. For sure. Which is really, I don't know one, would be a very nice thing, but obviously increasingly when we buy things, what we're asking in terms of, not measuring the value that this, whatever it is, brings to your life. Increasingly, we ask ourselves, who does this thing help me become? And Porsche definitely with that, they've got a nice little brand there. And the tours that I'm looking at are the go driving for 3 and 5 days through various parts of Europe, the Black Forest, the south of France, Greece.
That's so cool.
Swiss Alps. So I was literally looking at it yesterday and this morning. So yeah. And talk about an experience, right? Extending beyond the car, beyond the servicing of the car, to truly an immersive experience with some escapism and some aesthetics, some education. It's not even as much as the drive is a big part of it. So is the hotel you're staying at and the sites that you're seeing along the way. It's going to be really fantastic. And I'll point out, it's something that every car dealership could do.
No, 100%, right? And I actually think that kind of gets into what we're looking at talk about today is that the value as a dealership, the value that we bring to the consumer has to exceed the value of just the product and service that we sell.
That's correct. That's what really, like, what is the experience economy? And that's what it is. What the experience economy refers to. And I don't want to get too nerdy on this, but I think for the benefit of your audience, I should make something really clear.
Yeah.
I didn't invent the experience economy. The term the experience economy was I first heard about it when I read the book, The Experience Economy, written in 1999 published in 99 by Joe Pine and Jim Gilmore.
Mm-hmm.
The experience economy is as real as the industrial economy or the agrarian economy or the service economy.
100%.
It's a real thing. And what they argued, these two gentlemen in this book, was that there is a fundamental shift in the very fabric of the modern economy. And that as a consequence, there's a new predominant economic offering. And what that offering is this experience.
Mm-hmm.
Experience itself. Now, this is really important. Lots of times people assume that what that means or they're referring to is the experience of great service. I had a salesman at this dealership. He was so fantastic. I told him my name once. He knew it and used it. He wasn't pushy or she wasn't pushy, and they knew lots of great questions and they showed me great things. He was so fantastic. That is the experience of great service. And while that's wonderful, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is experience as its absolute own separate economic offering.
Yes.
And so in terms of we bring value that goes beyond, it's like, yeah, if you look at cars, right? So I confess this on the internet? It lasts forever. Here it goes. Although you'll be shocked to find out, Jason, I'm actually almost 48 years old. Breathtaking. I know. Nobody believes it.
I don't believe it.
It's true. I assure you it's true. I can remember in my lifetime that you could buy a car and that car could just be a terrible product. And we called that car a lemon. And it was just an accepted thing. It happened.
Yep.
It happens.
Yep.
And we would say things to each other that made no sense. Well, you never want to buy a car made on a Friday. Like you can tell? Do they want a sticker on them? But if you look at what happened, that was in let's call that the 70s. Well, I don't want to, we've already flattered one brand. Let's not bring anybody into this discussion without getting their permission. Let's just say all cars are really good cars right now. And all cars have amazing warranties. Like you can buy a car that goes 160,000 kilometers before it's going to lose the new car smell. Like cars are amazing. So in the service economy, when cars became commodities, that's what leasing is. Yep. Leasing is you're not actually buying the car, you're buying the right to drive it. There's a big difference there. You're only paying for the time that you have it. In the service economy, what happened is all goods became commodities. There was a time where if you bought a certain kind of car, you were crazy. But now it's like, you know what? All of these brands that make a product in the X number of dollars to X number of dollars, let's just pick, called like family economy car, they're all awesome. Every single bloody one of them is great. And they're going to go years before they let you down. So 100%. Now, how do you so that's the what is experience economy. How does it differ from service? It differs this way. Service is about saving customers time and money. It's about making things efficient and easy, which is great. So here's an example of something dealerships do that's really wonderful. They'll drive you to work when you drop your car off to have it fixed. Here's a great example of a service, right? Okay. An experience is different. An experience is about creating time well spent. It's about what, if you will, Porsche is doing by offering you, we will guide you on a 3 to 4 day, 5 day trip through an escapist area you don't live in. Come to Iceland, come to British Columbia and do that big loop that runs you up from Vancouver. I looked this morning, it's pretty fast. Yeah, I can price the whole thing, tell you the sites. So what that does in experience, though, is it extends the time the customer has with the brand, and it helps kind of transform them into somebody else. If I do this one in, the south of France. I'm a cosmopolitan, chic tourist with my lovely wife ripping through the south of France. As I said to you a few minutes ago, there's absolutely nothing preventing a dealership in any town anywhere from creating this exact same experience.
Yep.
You could be looking up all your clients whose leases are coming up. Say, what does the driver of X kind of vehicle typically move to? Do they move into the same one again? Do they upgrade one? Do they sometimes want to move to an SUV from a car? And if they do, is there anything we can do to create time well spent for them, to get them into the dealership, to get them in a car? Can we organize a tour that they would pay for, the customer?
It's no different than Chrysler dealerships, organizing their own, Jeep gatherings and, going out and off-roading with their clients.
Absolutely. That's a tender one for me. So parked in my driveway, every Jeep dealer in Ottawa is about to go nuts.
Oh no, what do
my
you
phone's
got?
in my wife's name. I drive, it's the second Wrangler I've had.
You're a story collector. I mean, come on. Let's talk about the Jeep Wrangler, because I was literally just a buddy of mine picked me up from the airport the other day with one, and we're driving down the highway doing about 120 kilometers an hour, and the hood's jumping up and down about 2.5 inches. It's just going duh, 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 duh.
Part of the charm.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, like something's wrong. Like, pull over, let me fix this. He goes, nah, it's a Jeep thing, man. Don't worry about it. Like, what?
That's right.
Wait a second. I can barely hear the words that are coming out of your mouth right now. All right. Your hood is jumping up and down 2.5 inches. You have 2 cracks all the way along the side of your window. You're but it's good. It's good.
Absolutely.
I drive a Jeep.
Yeah. He's probably had it forever.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. But that's the story, right? It's just, I find it, you're a Jeep owner, and kind of similar thing to the Porsche thing as well, right? So as consumers, we're buying stories before we're buying necessarily the products. And what does that product mean to me in my own narrative?
And I think, so, experience can be 4 things. Okay. So sometimes experience is fun. So to your point, how many people, and I'll get off the Jeep thing, but how many people drive Jeeps and never take them off-roading?
Oh, so many.
I joined a club. I had a Jeep. My first ride, I watched the guy in front of me. They had a trail marshal telling me what to do, and it was like going into outer space. I had absolutely no idea that I was driving a Sherman tank. I had no idea. It's been a love affair. I've had 2. I'll drive them forever. They're fantastic.
That's awesome.
Now, there's another experience, though. So what if you're a dealer and you don't have an exciting car? You just have a car people need, a good car.
Sure.
Just a good, oh man, this is a Hyundai
Elantra.
Well, if you're going to bring them up, I will let you know I bought a Hyundai for the first time ever. I swear to God, I bought my mother-in-law a Hyundai, a Tucson.
There you go.
Okay. So this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Get you to point A to point B. Yes.
So here it goes. So aside from the fact that I drive a Jeep and I am a car nut, I am going to go to Europe and let Porsche drive me around. They're not giving that away. And I'll tell you something else. I love a nice ride.
Yes. But
what I love is cars. Okay. So Julie is my mother-in-law's name. She's never going to see this blog probably, but she's a love.
I'm going to tag her on the bottom.
Pick up this car and I've got to shuttle it around in the driveway out there, move some things around or what have you. Okay. I get in the damn thing. I own it. I've never even looked at it. She said it was great. I was happy. Like, okay, good. My wife did all the homework, and this is a whole other story about buying the car. Yep. You want to talk value? My wife's a grade school teacher. She negotiated the entire deal, and she negotiated the deal with the salesman while she held her iPhone open to the Auto Trader in her hand.
Yep.
How much wiggle room have you guys got out there? Not a whole heck of a lot. This car comes home, it's amazing. I jump in it to move it around in the driveway to shuttle the cars around. And I think, damn, this is a really nice car. Okay,
right?
Literally, this is nice. I look around, it's got more features than anything I've ever driven. So I think, I'll drive it around my neighborhood. I'll drive it 2 blocks down and back up the other side. I ended up going on a 20-minute drive. Nice work there, Hyundai. That's a pretty sweet little ride I bought used for $28,000. Now though, let's be Hyundai. And let's be everybody else who sells a nice car for your mother, okay?
There you go.
What about your service? So let's talk about another critical area, which is your service station. Mm-hmm. So this is another way that experience works. When you're thinking about service, you're thinking about making your clients happier. which on its own doesn't sound like a really bad idea, does it? I want to make you happier. Well, okay, you do, but let me show you a better way to do it. What I want you to think about doing is, instead of increasing satisfaction, I want you to think of decreasing sacrifice.
Okay.
So this is supposed to hurt everybody when you listen, okay? And I'm not trying to be a mean guy. I just like to say it like it is. With absolutely no empirical data to back up my opinion, I would like to share this with you. I think the typical average automotive client brings their car to the mechanic 4 times before they determine, all on their own, that this guy is ripping me off and I'm going to go to a new guy. I think it's 4 times.
It is. It does. It takes a few times to realize, what the heck was that?
Yeah. And pity the mechanic, because I also believe this. I'm probably not getting ripped off.
No.
In fact, he's probably knocking stuff off my bill that I don't even know about, so that he doesn't lose me as a client. Yep. I'm not even going to charge him the $18 for this stupid thing. I'll just eat it. You know what I mean? Because I want to keep the visual of that bill at under a certain level. Okay. So let's think about bringing your car in and sacrifice. Right now, they're not too bad, right? Service. They got a shuttle car to bring me. But here's 2 ideas. The first one is attainable. Anybody can do it now. The second idea is a little more ambitious, but it's worthy of some exploration. So here it goes. Imagine if every single mechanic was given an iPhone.
Yep.
And a selfie stick, which I also have, but it's in the backseat of my Jeep. Damn, I could have held it up. So imagine I'm fixing your car, and we're just going to stick with Hyundais. And you said the Hyundai Elantra. So here I'm working on this thing, and I look and I see something needs to be replaced. So what I do, and this takes all the training of 5 seconds, is I turn on the iPhone video recorder. I look at it and I say,
hit the red button. You start.
Hi, Mr. Harris. My name is Dennis, and I'm the technician here at Hyundai. I'm working on your car, and this is what I'm seeing, and this is what I'm doing. I'm going to show it to you, and I film it, right? There it is down there. And I say, I'm going to replace it. Or I say, I'm not replacing this right now, but I want to bring it to your attention. In 6 months, when you put your winter tires on before Christmas next year, sir, you got to get this thing looked at again, okay? Now, fast forward to me getting the bill. What's the bill usually? It's this dot matrix printer.
Yep.
You can believe it.
Like, yeah, what? It still is.
Like, what? That's the technology you're willing to see? What's running the motor? Hamsters? Anyway, it's a dot matrix printer that prints hard to find, and the whole thing just adds up. It's the impression. It's not the truth. It's the impression. The impression is, you're screwing me. Somewhere in this list of stuff is nonsense.
There's no story. There's nothing for me to consume. I mean, it's just, like you said, just dotted lines with numbers on it. I mean, there's no girth. There's no hair, nothing to grab onto.
I got a video. Yep. So I get the bill and I go, okay. And the technician says, yeah, now listen, we have a YouTube channel at the dealership. Yeah. And your file, yeah. And you make it real simple and easy, is MW is, I don't want to name my dealership I deal with. Ottawa Ottawa dealership, MW, my last name, 1. That's where it is, Mr. Moseley. I'm putting it right here on your receipt. Go look at it. If you want to get really good, you get me to look at it ahead of time. But either way, I can review you. Oh, I see what you're doing with my car. I don't know why they wouldn't do that. Now, that's something every mechanic can do. What are you doing? Like, there's 2 kinds of customer loyalty. There's the loyalty of obligation and fear. That's what dealerships have. Well, I'm going to bring it to the dealership. It's a Honda. They fix Hondas. All the dealerships have done a good, I like to bring my car to a Chrysler guy. That's me.
Sure.
I'll be crazy. The story I tell myself is he's a Jeep nut too. Oh, he's going to appreciate how muddy my Jeep is. He gets it,
Yeah, of course. That makes sense.
So there's obligation and fear. Yeah. And you know what? If I go to the other guy, I don't know them. They don't know me. I don't know if that guy's doing this. These guys, the devil, when they say it's going to be done at the end of the day, they mean it, at least today. That guy, he could mean tomorrow more. I don't know what the hell that's all about. Mm-hmm. Fear, obligation, right? there's another kind of loyalty, and that loyalty is connection and identity. And that is the kind of loyalty you want to have. When you have customers that feel connection and identity with you, they don't want to hear about anybody else. No. They're selling the guy's got a sign up. He says, if you just bring him the offer from the dealership you're working with, he will read it and offer you the same deal and save you $1,000. He'll give you $1,000. Clients who are loyal because of connection identity, they don't care.
No. It's because I've built brand equity with that individual or with that business. All right. And it's no different than when you take in your vehicle and you get serviced by the Jeep guy, is that you trust that he is going to take care of you because of that connection that you have with each other. And
I'm going to have more of a connection, I'm arguing, if I see a video he makes.
Oh, 100%. So the cool thing is, to your point, right, is that, in the service department, this is already happening. We already kind of mentally do this. Well, I'm not going to tell him he needs to replace this part right now because, he can easily go another 6 months with it. But if I'm not communicating that story, and then, like you said, to your point, the only story I'm getting is this dot matrix, invoice of, words and numbers, and that's it. I'm not really I'm not increasing the perceived value of continuing to do business with it. And every single transaction, all the way from the service to a part that I buy to a phone call that I make, we're always having to look to how do we increase the perceived value of our business within the consumer's eyes.
That's it. And it becomes a cool story too.
Yeah. You want to share it just like you did.
Right? One of those you go, what? What did you say? The mechanic made the video. Cool. Okay, now listen to this. We sort of talked about what is the experience economy.
Yes.
We talked a little bit about why the experience economy, which is the idea that because that's where people find value now. And what the heck is an experience? I said it's not service. So think of it this way. If you've ever been a guest of a business and you've said, wow, like positively, wow, I am never going to forget this.
Yep.
You've had an experience. If you've ever been a guest of a business and said, I'll never be the same again, you've had a transformation.
That's a good point.
Porsche trip I'm going on, that, my friend, literally, what's crazy? Rather than buy a Porsche, I'll end up doing like 10 of those trips.
Yeah.
Like seriously,
but
it's also a guided transformation.
You're going to be a walking billboard for the brand.
Oh yeah.
That story is
pay me to go for the ride and write about it.
Well, no, seriously though, that story is going to be so rich, and we love collecting and sharing stories with others that you may turn 2 or 3 of your friends into Porsche owners. You won't even be one yourself.
They don't want to go. So let's talk then about how. Well, how do you do it? How do you do experience economy? I own a dealership, or maybe I'm a buddy that owns. No, I don't. I'm a mechanic. I'm a friend of a dealership owner. He sends me all kinds of work. I'm Jim's mechanic on Main Street, anywhere, USA. Great. Anybody listening, doesn't matter. I'm not even in the automotive business. I ride the bus and I'm a florist. Well, it doesn't matter. Welcome to the podcast. You can learn something today.
No kidding.
So here's how experience works. What is it? It's a reference to a big shift in the economy where now the experience is the predominant economic offering. Fantastic. Why do we do it? Because that's what people want. They want to be engaged. They want connection. They want identity. Okay, how do we do it? So you do it this way. You identify the key areas in your business. So, if you're a car dealership, it's the lot itself. It's the showroom itself, it's the service area, and it's the reception area where the client can sit around and wait.
Yep.
And what you're asking yourself, so understand this, the experience has nothing to do with the product.
No.
Nothing.
A great point, and something that we really need to drive home.
This is true because the example that Joe Pine, author of The Experience Economy, that he uses and that I use, but not without giving the Godfather his due.
Of course.
Joe uses the example of the gumball wizard machine. It's a gumball machine, and everybody's seen one. And on the bottom of it, there's a clear plastic cylinder. so that when the customer turns the handle to get the gumball, instead of getting the gumball, they get this spiraling demonstration as the gumball rolls through the cylinder and you see it come out the bottom. A little bit of fun for the kid kind of idea. So there's 3 things that are really important about this. The first is the spiraling does not in any way improve the gumball.
Nope.
Nor does it improve the service. You could argue it actually hinders the service because you get it later. Like you don't get it right away. You actually got to wait. So it's slower and it doesn't change it. It's not like it does anything to the gumball. It's just a show. Very low level show business, I recognize. Now here's the third thing and the most critical. But precisely because of the spiraling, which has nothing to do with the product has more value to the customer.
It does, because it's perceived.
So when a person goes into the car dealership, if one of the impressions you want to make is that it's high end and you're high end and everybody here is a VIP with a VIP life and a place to be, and you got to get there fast, looking fashionable, suddenly having a cafe on the premises and a fantastic espresso latte maker, etc., wins. There is a giant car dealership in downtown Honolulu. Okay. My client John took me there when I was there for a meeting last year. He goes, "Oh, I know where I'm taking you for lunch." We went in. There was Triumph motorcycles, Maseratis, Alfa Romeos, Lamborghinis, Bentleys. It was like every car I've never seen in the flesh, all in one room together. Ready? There was a barber shop and a men's clothing store and a restaurant and a cafe.
That's an experience.
That's an experience. And part of experience is creating a desire for your client to want to linger. So I know of a place in the United States. It's a series of garages. And I can't believe I didn't think of this earlier to look up their name, but it can't be hard to find, Google land. It's a series of garages. Get this. It's like half the drivers in the world are women and 5% of them are mechanics. This is a garage where all the mechanics are women. There's a cafe in every one of them, and there's a salon in every one.
That's
so
awesome.
While your car's getting fixed, you can get your nails done, you can have a sandwich, you can have a coffee.
Which has nothing to do with you getting your oil.
Nothing.
Has nothing to do whatsoever.
Nor does the motif. So the motif is the look of the place. So all of the mechanics, when they're working, they're sort of in a costume to look like, if you know who Rosie the Riveter is.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's this fantastic thing. Ford World in Houston, Texas is themed like a NASCAR pit stop.
So there you go.
Yeah.
It's an experience.
So if I had a car dealership, this is what I would want to do. This would be my the future. Let's think. So I would separate the service center into an entirely different building and location.
I'd agree with that. Totally makes sense.
Put the cars and the fantasy. Who wants to be reminded that this beautiful thing, as you're buying your beautiful one, you're seeing another one getting wheeled in the back. Oh yeah, it's just
Very good point. Very good point.
Dirty and if you reach your hand underneath your gorgeous wheels, they're going to be black and disgusting like the underside of a ship because it's road grime and gross.
Totally true. Though.
Now watch this. Hey, when people show up, let's do the dealership first. Let's pick Ford. Ford. Okay. I don't want to get in trouble with what I'm about to say here.
Nah, it's all good.
Last time somebody told me that, I was looking for work. Okay, here it goes. No one's going to notice. Say it. Just tweet it. It's 140 characters.
Yeah.
It's Easter. Everybody loves Easter. Okay, so here it goes. Ford. When you go into a Ford, this is what I do. There's 4 realms of experience. One of them is fun, entertainment. Yes. One of them is education. Every car dealership could teach everybody how to change their oil.
Yep. Every
car dealership could teach everybody road safety, how to change a tire. What do you do if you're on a flat, right? Oh yeah, anybody could. Oh yeah, you could organize it at your dealership. You could say,
there's value in that too.
I'm Dennis Moseley-Williams, the lead technician of, such and such Honda Ottawa. And here's my little tip on how to do this. You know that show Motoring 91, 92?
Yeah.
I've watched it my whole life. I've been watching it since that mechanic had brown hair.
It's a great show.
Everybody could make those. So there's entertainment, there's education, there's escapism, and there's aesthetic. So imagine this. You walk into the Ford dealership. but it's not a dealership. It's a center. You got one. It's a big one. And when you walk in, you walk into an assembly line from the turn of the 20th century where they're making Model T Fords, obviously, whatever you call that, replicas of them with plastic pieces and everything. And all the men that are making them are dressed up in period clothes. They're just making these things. When they have lunch, they sit down on the line and eat lunch out of a wooden box. Why wouldn't there be that? Why wouldn't there be an area, for corporate events that has video games? It's like, come on, we can drive this car. We can virtual reality this. I'm talking about going to Spain and driving a Porsche. It's called Forza on your Xbox. Like, what are you telling me? I've been driving through Spain in fast cars for 15 years already.
Exactly.
There should be a museum in there, a restaurant, a lounge, and everything until they literally say, do you have any cars around here to buy? It's like, oh yeah, the cars are memorabilia. We have them over there.
We want you to embrace this experience. All right. And the cool thing with the experience is that we are not afraid to pay for the experience. Correct. So I think what is when dealerships hear this and they're like, Dennis, this is great ideas. Like, I love this, but how's this going to pay my bills? But and I know customers pay for experiences. We want to pay for experiences.
That's it.
We'll pay, that few extra dollars more every payment, or that extra $100, a few $100 or whatever it is to work with this dealership because this dealership has the experience. That dealership the bottom line is the consumer's expectation is that we just don't meet the expectation. We have to now exceed the expectation. That's what the new baseline is.
Yep.
Is we have to exceed it. And we can do that through developing out an experience, which thus creates a story. And people love sharing these stories, and they want to, no different than your friend. When you said you were going down there, he knew instantaneously where he was taking you. He wanted to share that story with you. He wanted you to be a part of that narrative.
That's exactly it. And if we're not going to get the experience, and you're correct. So what I'm saying is, hey, if you own a car dealership, would you turn away $1,000 from a guy that wanted to bring 15 people in for 2 hours for a meeting in the afternoon and play with your video game machines and look at and get a tour of the car? Imagine if you're the dealership owner or the experience center owner.
Yeah. And
you say, yeah, by the way, do you guys want to see a Shelby? You sticking with Ford? Do you guys want to see a Ford GT40? Do you want to see one? Like, it's the whole thing is a stage. And meanwhile, it's great big center. What's paying for it is people are getting their cars fixed there. And you should have a cafeteria for them, and it should be really nice. Now, the other thing I mentioned is I would separate the two businesses into different locations.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine this. Now you have all your people, and they're getting their cars fixed, and you have cubicles and Wi-Fi, so you don't even have to worry about driving me to work. I'll bring my car to the Fix-It Center and stay there all day long and work just like it's an airport lounge. Get my work done, and when my car's ready, I'll leave with it.
Why not? I go to the airport early just for that. I get my little hour or two in before I hit the plane, and then I feel like I'm good on the plane.
It's a testament to the experience that Air Canada provides.
Yes, 100%.
You don't show up to U.S. based airports early to hang out in their lounge, I assure you. I'll go to the one here in Ottawa. I will go there and hang out for 2 hours and work there.
I do the exact same here in Toronto.
I don't shy away from that one in Pearson. Oh, you have a 3-hour layaway. It's like, no problem.
Yeah, no. I got no beef with it. I'm good.
Yep, it's quiet, works. Absolutely. So cars in general, I keep thinking about all this autonomous driving, right? And aerodynamics. And I think cars are going to be neat. Like right now, think about this. It's a 4-door car with 4 seats, 5 people can sit in there, what have you. And we're all looking the same way. So we're all going in that direction. I got to drive it. What's the future of a car when I don't have to drive it? Like when it's sort of a stagecoach. When it's
the entire experience.
When the only thing it has to be is aerodynamic and quiet. So still there's going to be differentiating of goods and features and benefits vis-a-vis products, i.e. We'll use all the high-end brands. Well, presumably the Mercedes-Benz completely aerodynamic, nondescript pod driving itself through space. Can you imagine what the interior of that thing is going to look like?
No, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be an experience in itself.
It would be, perhaps it's all movie screens.
Yeah.
So you're just in it driving through space or water or jellyfish, or maybe you want it to look like a stagecoach. Like, I have no idea, but I find that fascinating. And I find the future of ownership in the car business pretty interesting. Ride sharing, car club, all that kind of thing I find really neat. I'll tell you, when I was, so here you are, commoditization, right? So at the end of the day, it's really, really fun to, you know, at first my trip to Europe started this way. I thought about doing it all on my own. And I will share with you that I thought, hey, you know, it would be cool to follow the route that the Easy Company followed from sort of.
Oh, well, that's cool. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I'll follow that. And then I thought, and I'll go to Hertz and rent a Porsche. No different than a European fellow, let's say, flying to the United States and saying, I drove an American Corvette down Route 6. Like it was the thing to do, right? It's that, I get it, you know? So just here, 3 scenarios. So I'm like, okay, so I check it out and I get on Hertz, and candidly, it's kind of complicated. I'm looking and I don't know the country very well. So it's like, you know, where do you want to pick it up? This airport, this town. I'm like, oh, that's too hard right now. I got to look at a map to do this, you know? So I mentioned to someone I keep an office near my house here. And I mentioned what I'm doing, and one of my office mates, he goes, oh, have you heard of, is it like Turo or something like that?
Yeah, I actually just did one this week and it was awesome.
Oh, there, proved my point. So I look up and guess what? I find a guy in Berlin who will rent me a 1976 911 for 75 euros a day.
I was just in Vegas.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have some fun and do some podcasts and create some unique content. I'm a classic car junkie. Like I just love classic cars. So literally on the way there, I found a guy who rented me his 1955 T-Bird, all original T-Bird, convertible. I cruised the strip. I filmed it with some friends, and it was amazing. It was so awesome.
Well, here it is. So this is the deal. So I looked, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll do this all in Hertz. Then it became, wait a second, you know, the heck with you, Hertz. Cut you out.
Yep.
Commoditization. Here's a guy named Ben.
My guy's name was Mike.
A British racing green with a brown leather interior, 1976 911, and I can plan the whole damn thing on my own.
Yep.
Then I end up at on the you know, ground zero. I go right to the Porsche website, and I think, wait, no, and I don't even know about it, but it's like, oh, don't they do something like that?
Shouldn't they do something like that?
Okay, and I find it, and it's like, now that is an experience. Look at, it's not just the car, and it's not just the service of, look, I'm going to rent it. It's all going to be cool. We're going to book your hotel rooms. We're going to organize your meals. You're just going to be giant children who are allowed to drink. We're going to drag you around, and you can drink wine with your dinner. Okay. Yep. You're allowed to do whatever the hell you want, but ultimately you have to follow me all day long. Yep. I'm going to walk into the hotel and check you in, and I've done everything. All you did was recite your Visa card number. Now, bring it to earth. You're a car dealership now. You could organize these trips. If you're the Porsche guy, why aren't you organizing this? Okay, now wait, it gets even better. You got people that buy transportation. You got people that buy cars. You should know the difference. You should know who's into it. So, you know, maybe you're like, yeah, I don't sell Porsches. It's like, no, you sell Grand Cherokees. You got a bunch of people you can organize a trip for.
Well, see, it all comes down to experience, right? I mean, it's no different than I have a Chrysler dealership, and with their entire caravan, their Dodge Grand Caravan audience, they create a once every summer they do a Grand Caravan Experience Day.
Love it.
Where, you know, they bring them out to a big park. Of course, there's bouncy castles all over the place. Yeah. There's entertainment. At night, they go to a local drive-in, and it's literally nothing but just Dodge Grand Caravans for the entire thing. And it's just all the hatches are open, all the kids are in there, and it's you know, it's under a day, it's less than a day, right?
Yep.
But it creates an experience around it. You're not just buying a Dodge Grand Caravan from them, you're also being able to buy the opportunity to participate in this real fun local experience.
You're doing. I'm like, okay, so you ready?
So you can do it. You can do it with any product. That's the point, Ron, right?
You watch talk shows, you're always disappointed to find out that, you know what, every time you watch, like, you know, the whatever show. Can you tell I don't watch a lot of late night TV? I almost said Johnny Carson.
I know, you almost did.
And David Letterman. who I love, and I know I love his show. You know, my next guest. When you find out later you're crushed to discover that they film it twice, and you realize you're not watching a spontaneous conversation, you're like, oh, and it sort of ruins it. Okay, this is a spontaneous conversation. Okay, you ready? I also own a Dodge Caravan.
Oh, jeez.
I do. It's a lovely silver model. I call it the silver potato.
Silver potato.
And you know, there's stigma with the minivan, right? Yeah, and it's awesome. And when it's got stone coat seating, it's awesome. And it's amazing, awesome. And we have a cottage, 2 kids, and a dog. Yep. You can put all the seats down and put 4x8 sheets of plywood in it. Yeah, it's called my pickup truck, brother, and I love it. And it's got 10 million miles on it. Runs like a top. Now, having said that, if you invited me, hey, on Saturday night, do you want to come to the drive-through for a client appreciation Dodge Caravan, such and such? Bring blankets, do whatever. We're screening whatever. I'd go, and I'm not saying that, right. You're also solving my problem. What the hell am I going to do with these kids? You know, this weekend.
It's perfect, isn't it? Look, so it doesn't matter what product you have. I mean, I know we've used the example of Porsche, but you can easily do this with pretty much any product out there. You know, I have another dealership that, and they're a Subaru dealership and in the Subaru dealership, there are a lot of dog lovers. So the dealership is incredibly dog friendly, like very, very, very dog friendly. Right. And they schedule, I think they do 3 dog friendly events where they take over the entire dog park, and they bring down, you know, some local people, you know, and they're also doing adopt a pet that day as well. And it's just, again, it's understanding who your audience. I think that's what key is. Can you imagine your experience, understand your audience?
It is. And it's also some faith in being willing to try some stuff that might not work, and thinking every time you think to yourself, dealers listening to this, it's just my idea is goofy. It's got nothing to do with selling cars. It's like, yeah, because you're on the right track. Keep thinking that way. For instance, I just had this thought while you were talking. Literally, I was thinking, yeah, I live like behind me is north. Okay. Gatineau Park is right there.
Beautiful park. Amazing.
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
Like, there's so many nice car rides outside of this town. It's ridiculous. Ottawa's undiscovered, right? It's like, yeah, if you were a car dealership, what if you had 10 picnic baskets?
Yeah.
Everybody thinks it's a great idea to do. It's like, you don't want to go buy a picnic basket.
No.
You don't want to, and then what, store it and use it once every 4 years? It's fun once. No, just like renting a dog. Imagine if you had this thing. It's all, your entire dealership experience is based around human transportation, fun, using the car, and who does the car help you be? Imagine if you had, I got 2-day trips, 3-day trips, self-driving things you can go and take yourself and see this. Like, just everybody listening, think about your own town. What's a 2-night trip from your town? What's a good day trip? What can you go? What can you see? Imagine if you generously put that all together. Imagine if you let everybody know when they bought a car, when they did service, whatever, you know, you can call us and reserve the picnic basket. Imagine if you partnered.
That's actually a good one.
Imagine if you partnered with a catering place. So here in Ottawa, my wife likes to use this place called Red Apron.
Nice.
Be in trouble.
Yep.
Sherry will say to me later, I use Red Apron, I use this one and this one. Oh, I didn't give them all shout-outs. But I know Red Apron. Imagine if you let everybody know we have a partnership with Red Apron. Call us, reserve this, okay? And yeah, we're going to charge you for it, but we're going to charge you, the technical term is dick. We're going to charge you like $50. Like nothing.
And cost. You can buy it and you can pick up this.
You go to Red Apron and pick it up. Or you come to the deal, whatever it is.
Yep.
Just return it to the dealership. What are you doing? You're giving them a reason to come back to the dealership. You're giving them a reason to talk about you. If you're who haven't we talked about? Chevy.
Yep.
Somebody comes and buys your Chevy Cruze from you and they love the car. And their friend says, do you really love the car? And they go, I love the car. Now they're going to buy a Chevy Cruze. They're not going to buy it from Dave.
No.
You want them to say, I love my Chevy Cruze and you got to buy it from Dave, who I just saw the other day when I handed him back the picnic basket or whatever the hell it is.
Exactly. Yeah. Picnic basket. It could be tents. Who actually wants to buy a tent? You're going to use it once this year.
That's right.
Right? It's going to cost you $500.
Yeah.
Okay. Who the hell wants it?
Correct.
You don't want to buy the damn thing.
That's right.
A dealership to go out and buy 4 or 5 of these things to keep at the dealership and literally allow people to check them out during the weekends. I mean, come on. That is so simple, so easy, right? But the perceived value, though, is huge.
So now let's tie. That's a beautiful idea. Now, that's a really good idea. Now tie all this together. Of course, I'm Ottawa centric, right? So it's like, I remember standing in the Chrysler dealership near my house, middle of the summer. I looked at it was a Dodge Dart, and I looked at it and said to the guy, July ago, you should put a ski rack on that and downhill skis. He goes, you think so? And I went, yeah, it's the first thing I thought it was. That's a wicked little ski car right there. Oh man, that would get me where I want to go easy, you know? So let's tie a few of these things together, right? So it's like, you got your service guy making videos, and every time you talk to anybody, you tell them about all this stuff that you can borrow. Every time anybody uses it, you social media and hashtag it. Yep. Hashtag Camaro, hashtag Caravan, hashtag all those products, whatever it is, right?
Yep.
And then you have your owner who's saying, you know, does a little sort of 5-minute impact video on what cars are all about and what makes them cool and amazing and interesting. And, you know, you stage stuff, you use that. The dealership has to be something other than a place that's full of inventory.
Yes.
And offers on financing.
And that's what we're trying to drive home. This is, I know guys, we've had, if you're listening to this, you're watching this, me and Dennis have had a lot of fun. You know, we've tossed back some ideas and we talked about some examples out there, but at the end of the day, this is what it comes down to, you know, is that we got to provide more value than just the product or service we sell.
That's it. And the value is an experience, and an experience isn't a service. An experience is something that engages you and is novel. You said, this is really cool. I'm never going to forget it.
No, you wouldn't, right?
Like I can hear myself saying to someone now, like, no, me, Sherry, Ellen, Mia, got in the van, went to the dealership. I picked up this picnic basket. Now it can't be, here you go. It's got to be like,
no, it's like, here it is.
Holy Jesus. If I can say that.
Of course.
Right? Like, oh my God. Oh no, it was all in partnership with this. Do you know, Fancy Pants Caterer Inc.? No, they do all, it was amazing. It must have been, blah, blah, blah. That's the story you want to hear.
100%.
It's the story you want. If you own the business, the last thing you want, you are what you charge for. So you can charge for cars, you can charge for service. And if you do it well, good service, get that video worked in there, right? Like anticipate, zero in on the areas of sacrifice. Ask yourself how you can make it better. I got rid of the shuttle car. I send everybody in Ubers, right? Like,
yes, I love that too.
You go immediately, just go. Plus, you don't have to have a guy all tied up driving a shuttle.
That's right.
You can be instead making picnic baskets.
There you go.
But at the end of the day, the experience is your best marketing.
100%.
How you make customers feel and the story that they're going to tell about you to other people. That's going to sell way more cars than anything else. Starbucks never has to advertise. Apple never has to advertise. Those products and the experience sells itself.
100%. And Dennis, thank you so much for taking the time to jam with me today.
Right on, man.
For anybody who's watching this or listening to this right now and would like to learn more about what you do and how they can connect with you, what's the easiest way to do so?
Probably by visiting my website. And that's it's Moseley-Williams.com. Moseley Williams.com.
We'll make sure to put that link.
And way too much of me is there.
Way too much. Again, Dennis, thank you so much for taking the time to jam with me. I had a lot of fun.
Thanks, brother. Me too, Jason. Thanks for asking, man.
Thanks. I'll talk to you soon.
Cheers, bro.
Bye.
We covered a bunch of great topics today. What stood out most to you? Be sure to let us know in the comments section below. And don't forget to like the post and share it to keep the conversation going. You can follow Jason on all social media platforms by following Strategy with Jason. You can find him pretty well everywhere you can share content. I hope we were able to get you thinking. And until the next time, this has been Nathan with Digital Dealership Solutions. Have a great day.